So whether you just got cheated on, you had to leave a really difficult relationship, this is the most devastating moment of your life. And if you got cheated on, this is really the lowest of low. But I want you to know this is the best thing that could have happened to you. You're looking for answers everywhere, trying to figure out what could you have done different, what went wrong. There's nothing you could have done different. Even if it is your fault in your mind, there is nothing you need to blame yourself for. She did what she did because she isn't a good person, nothing to do with you. Even if you think that maybe you didn't spend enough time with her, maybe you didn't, do more things for her, didn't provide better. As a human being, she could have gave you the courtesy to just tell you that the relationship was no longer working and that she wanted to leave. Simple as that. Her deciding to stay around and, hide what she was doing and to keep you in the dark, to put you through that emotional turmoil, she is a bad person. Simple as that. Has nothing to do with you. It's all about her. Don't let anyone else tell you that you're a weak man. Because some men who are saying that, I've never been cheated on, or if I got cheated on, I would leave immediately. A lot of men who think they've never been cheated on, there's a woman right now dogging them, or there's a woman that dogged them they never knew. Or when they do get dogged out in the future, they're going to break in half. Getting cheated on, it brings a lot of men to the brink of destruction. Some men kill themselves about this, so it is a big issue. This is very serious. It's a very difficult time. I experienced it myself, so I know exactly what it feels like to literally feel like you're basically outside standing in the rain. You're just going through so much. You're experiencing so much pain. The only thing you have experienced is death. Every single emotion you've gone through other than dying. That is how painful it is. You're breaking down in random moments. You don't even know when something might remind you of her. It might make you cry, whether it's a song, whether it's just, some type of landmark you see, any subtle reminder. You're going through every psychological conviction that someone that comes from war goes through. So I'm talking about you're experiencing PTSD. You got survivor's remorse because even maybe you took yourself out of it, you're feeling like, man, what if you could have done something different? She came from a broken family, so you feel as if you didn't do enough. There is nothing you could have done to fix a lineage. It goes back to the sins of the father, the sins of the mother. Her family was never there to raise her properly, so how can you blame yourself as a man that's already coming from your own situation, your own circumstance? You're still learning and developing. You can't develop this entire human being. You can't. She was already supposed to come fully packaged. But more than likely what happened, you picked a woman that was broken, you wanted to fix it, you saw the potential led you into investing, and before you knew it, you're a few years in and you can't turn back. You have so much thousands of dollars invested, you can't turn back. It's so hard to walk away when you've invested your entire life into a person, your entire identity. It does so much to a man when he gets cheated on, especially for me. It broke me down because I was engaged to this woman. And I didn't even know she was cheating on me during the engagement. I found this out after the engagement ended. And it took an even bigger hit on me. I thought the engagement ending was one phase. I had to go through a second breakdown. It was like two heartbreaks. The first heartbreak was in the engagement because, we had our own differences and it was already a long distance relationship. And so we already ended it. That was the first heartbreak. I was just like, man, I committed my life to this woman. I got on one knee. Because as men, when we propose, that is like, as a man, at least for me, I was invested into the vision. I saw my future. I saw my future family. I saw my kids. I saw, the beach house. I saw it all. I saw it. So I was so invested. So the moment even the engagement ended, it was like losing my identity, losing my purpose. I said, how could this be? I'm a man of Christ. I pray. I fast. I go to God. And so for me, this is a decision that God helped me make. So I was just like, there's no way God allowed me to make such a pivotal mistake, such a huge mistake. And then to find out later on that she was cheating on me during the whole process, it was just like, wow, I was working so hard to provide for this woman, and she was literally my downfall. She was my opposition. And I'm over here at the time too, to give you guys a little background about my dating, my dating history. I was engaged to a woman I met in Paris. At the time, we were going through the ESTA, which is this fiance, well, not the ESTA, we're going through a fiance visa, alien visa. And so at this time, we're going through this alien visa. When you marry an alien spouse or an immigrant spouse, the first year they're there in America, they can't even work. So I really have the burden of providing financially. So I was like, okay, I'm marrying this beautiful girl. Let me work my butt off to make sure that when she gets here, everything's gonna be taken care of. So I had my own company, but at the time I was door dashing extra to save extra money to travel to France to see her, to make sure when I get there, we could have fun, I could buy her nice things, and at the same time, I'm saving for the future. So here I am, I got my own company, and I'm working an extra 50 hours a week to provide for my future family, to provide for this woman that I want to spend my life with. I am dedicated, I am busting my butt. Like, I'm getting up every single day, I'm working as hard as I can because I want to provide a good future. I want to be that man, I want to be that guy that she can depend on. There's nothing she would ever need once she sets foot in America. Just to have that all crumble down and to realize that it was all in vanity. So I get the idea of literally putting out your soul. There's a lot of men don't even get to that point. So the fact that you even did that, kudos to you, congratulations. You should be proud of yourself for loving a woman to that extent. Because to love a woman to that extent, you have to give a part of yourself. Many people are afraid to do that. You have to give a part of yourself you would never get back. That is the price and the cost of loving a woman. You give her a version of yourself that you would never get back. And the reality is, it didn't work out in your favor at the time, but it's teaching you things about individuals, about people, about human nature. And it's giving you, at the same time, an experience that is unlike any other, but you have to use that experience as a catalyst for the next big thing in your life. Me getting cheated on, little did I know it would help me build out trust fund baddies. I never knew that I would become a social media influencer because I got cheated on, and my, take on only dating high value women, because I realized I got cheated on, and I got cheated on from a low value woman. This never happened to me when I was dating all the rich girls with money from good families, 2-parent homes. I mean, granted, not to say that these girls, I didn't go through certain things or whatever the case may be, but I was like, I was good when I was dating these high value women. As soon as I decided to date a woman that came from a broken family, that wasn't, extremely aspirational, all these things came down to me. And I realized that, okay, well, at the very least, if I'm going to go and a relationship doesn't work out, at the very least, I date a woman that she brings value add to me from day one. Now it's me picking up my life 2 years later, putting the pieces together, trying to figure it all out, and then I'm at a loss. So I know you're looking around for answers. First and foremost, do not go back to that woman. It is done. It is done. If you go back, she doesn't respect you. You don't respect yourself, first and foremost. I don't care where you read, where it says a man is going to fix it and he has to try again. You've done enough. She's done enough. Let it go, walk away. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. That is a song you all need to listen to. If you want to know how to leave a woman, you just get up and you walk away. You don't do a lot of talking. You get up and you walk away. You don't even tell her you're leaving. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. This has to be a turning point in your life. Before it becomes a turning point in your life, sit in the silence and sit in the pain. It's going to take a while. You can't rush it. When it happened to me, I couldn't even physically touch a woman for like 2 months afterwards. And that was from not even getting cheated on. That was just from ending my engagement. The pain of just ending my engagement forced me to just not even want to be around another woman for like 2 months. I couldn't, it was unbelievable to me. It still couldn't sink in that like, this woman that I was ready to spend the rest of my life with, it just still couldn't kick into me that wasn't my reality. I couldn't fix it. That was my first failure. I'm an overachiever. I excelled at everything in life. I was always a straight A student. I went to Howard. Freshman year, I had like a 4.0 GPA. Econ major. I had all the corporate internships. I had the corporate job after school. I started my own business. I made 6 figures. I'm tall, I'm handsome, I'm artistic, I'm articulate, everything under the sun. And that was the first time where all of those things I had going for me, it didn't pay off in the way I thought it would. It crushed me. It crushed me. It really did. One thing that helped me bounce back, about a year after my engagement, I was blessed to go on to the Bachelorette show. And, granted, although I was only out there for like 2 episodes, it at least gave me confirmation that, okay, you know what? I'm a high value man. I'm one of America's most eligible bachelors. Regardless of what happened, I'm a big dog. I'm one of the top. At the end of the day, out of all the men in America, I'm one of the most eligible bachelors in America. It gave me a little boost. It still wasn't everything that got me going, but it pushed me to take that next step. Because even when I was on the show, I was honestly just not in a good headspace. To be realistic, I really wasn't ready to even go do the show. But I was like, you know what? I need to move on. I need to just push myself. And so I went on the show, and it's funny now as I think about some of the conversations I was having with Jen on the show, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow, that was such an exoskeleton of myself. I wasn't able to go on national television and really give the world who I was, because I was a broken man at the time. I was a broken man that was trying to act like it was all together, but in reality, it really wasn't. I was in such a bad headspace for so long. And the reality is, it's going to take you a while. It took me about 2 years to kind of heal from it. I'm healed, and one of those things where you're going to be healing for the rest of your life. It's a lifelong journey. It's one of those things where you kind of start there for the rest of your life. So don't have any shame if you think it's going to be okay, but a few months later you feel triggered. It's okay, it happens. It's a scar you just learn to live with. But after that moment, I'm telling you, I'm right now at the peak of my life because of what happened 2 years ago. So many doors open for me. When the wrong woman is in your life is limited. Doors will not open. God will not allow certain opportunities to present themselves to you. The moment she leaves, all of a sudden, new job opportunities, you're meeting way better women that have better personalities, they look better, they come from better families. Just the quality of everything is just better. So you have to just realize that this is the best thing that can happen to you. You have to walk away first and foremost. Have respect for yourself. Don't let anyone shame you. This is meant to be. This is one of the best things that could happen to you. 2 things that drive a man to change his life: it's either a broken heart or broken pockets. That's it. You need those 2 things to push you to the next level. This is your villain arc. This is your villain origin story. But it does get greater later. That I can assure you. Another way to avoid heartbreak is to avoid terrible partners. A lot of times too, these partners that do come from these broken homes, these are gonna be the individuals that are gonna put you through the most. So you have to ask a woman's family history. You have to ask, what's the dynamic? Are her parents cheaters? Is that something she witnessed? You have to ask these things because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So when you're dating these women, I cannot emphasize enough, date high-value women that come from good families. Trust fund Baddies is more than just a girl with money. It's a girl that comes from a good family. She comes from a nurturing environment. Parents that taught her how to communicate, taught her loyalty, taught her how to appreciate other individuals. There's a lot of people you meet on this earth, they just aren't appreciative, they aren't grateful of other human beings. That's why you feel taken advantage of. Nothing you can do in this moment is going to change the time it takes for you to heal. Doesn't matter how many times you go to the gym, doesn't matter how many trips you take, doesn't matter how many girls you hook up with. You have to just take your time. You have to sit through this. For me, I had to pray. I was meditating, I was traveling. I was doing everything. I was going through therapy. I was getting counseling. I started playing tennis. I was doing everything to distract myself. And this is what you have to do as well. Just do everything you can. Keep yourself afloat, but just work on yourself, improve yourself, better yourself. Because I'm telling you though, now that I've experienced that, my tolerance for any type of disrespect is so low. I have none. I can filter women so much better now because of that experience. And that's the one thing you do gain. What I miss the most is that I had a certain type of innocence. I don't really look at love the same, but that's okay. Because now I just have a better discernment of women. That's why I'm even able to coach a lot of men and to give you guys such good advice, because I experienced that. I lived it. I know individual's true character. I know what humans are capable of. Because of that experience myself, when I date people, I even let them know. Myself, I like to present my shadow. I don't like to show you my representative. It's a waste of time. Because the moment my shadow comes out, if you don't like the shadow, you're going to leave me. It doesn't matter how, persuasive my representative was. So when I deal with women, I let them know, I want to see your shadow. Don't show me your representative. Give me your shadow. Bring out that little girl in the dark. But that's who you're really dating. It's not this attractive, well-poised woman in front of you that she's presenting. It's this little girl that's dealing with all these traumas, abandonment issues. That's the individual you have to connect with. Because in reality, that's their individual that's going to hurt you. There's people even that cheat, things like that. Oh, it's completely their fault, but to some extent, it's their environment. They just, not to say they don't know any better, but that's all they know. They know better, they don't want to do better. And so for me, I just rather avoid those people completely. I don't even want to be around them. I don't want nothing to do with them. So the moment I know a girl comes from a broken family, I'm good. You don't talk to your dad, I'm good. You and your mom got a, torn relationship, severed relationship, I'm good. I just don't have time for it. I want a woman that she's fostered good relationships in her private life. She has a good, dating history in terms of with her previous partners. I don't want a woman that has never been able to show up in her own life, because how could she show up in mine? I don't want a woman who her family hasn't shown up in her life, because at some point she probably won't show up in mine. Those patterns, they're repetitive. Some of that stuff is almost in a person's DNA. That's just her nature. I mean, some people are wired differently. They were just raised with different values. I've noticed that. I've noticed that when I've dated girls who come from broken homes, the dad is divorced. Some girls I dated, the mom cheated on the dad. Some girls, the dad cheated on the mom. But anytime I've seen these dynamics where the family, home, the structure, that childhood upbringing was just broken, it was a lot of pain and misery, I'm good on that. I really want no parts of that. I don't have time to heal that woman. Now, some women, they go through therapy, they take the time to work on it, they see the shortcoming, they know themselves, they're aware, that's different. A lot of women have not done that work, and so they get into relationships thinking that that's when the work begins. A lot of people get into relationships thinking that's when they can fix themselves, they can fix their partner. And that's how you get hurt. Because you go into a situation trying to fix that individual. That person came to that situation trying to be fixed. And what they end up doing is breaking everything and everyone around them. So the best thing to do is to avoid partners from broken homes. Avoid broken people. Hurt people hurt people. So as much as you say, man, I empathize with her and I want to help her, I can feel it. Especially if you're a person if you come already from a broken background, why are you getting with a broken woman? And that's honestly what usually happens. You usually relate to that pain, that abandonment. You're like, man, I know what she's feeling. I can help fill that void. You can't even fill your own void. And you are pursuing this woman. And this is the void you fill it with. You fill a void with another void. Now you wonder why you're in this bottomless pit. Leave these broken women alone. Only deal with women that are secure, that are healed, that are in their true feminine. These are women that can help raise your masculine. They can help you fulfill your vision, your purpose. I help men just like you that are crushing it in the real world. They're entrepreneurs, they're corporate execs, lawyers, all types of professionals. But they're struggling in their personal life. Maybe you just got cheated on, maybe you're dealing with a low-value partner that you've been with for a couple of years. You know that you're supposed to leave her, but you've been lingering because you invested so much. And now you're trying to find peace, you're trying to move on. You're trying to regain your confidence, trying to get your groove back. I want to help you. Because when I was going through the same thing, there wasn't really any resources that were good for me. I had to pick things from everywhere. I had to talk to some of everybody. So I understand what you're going through. I understand what you're going to need to overcome the situation, to become bigger and better on the other side.